Fantasy Fuel is powered by Poll Sports. Get instant fantasy football advice through real-time polls by visiting pollsports.com.
Cards are dealt the other way now, and for the last time, no more shuffling.
Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another episode of Fantasy Fuel Shuffling the Deck. I am Tom Tuttle. Today we will be talking about a random player from the Tennessee Titans. Now, when I selected the Titans to do this, it was not something I really wanted to do. The Titans are not the most star-studded team by any means, but here we go. Let's find out who that random player is going to be on the Tennessee Titans. All right, well, it's going to be Delanie Walker. That's, it's interesting to a certain extent because, last year he was out for the entire year, and it was, it just was not good. You probably picked him. You probably said, I can get something out of him this year. It's going to be good because he has proven it in the past, although he got hurt and he was out. I do think that he is the only reason that there's upside for Marcus Mariota. I don't like Mariota pretty much at all this year. There's not a lot for me to say that's positive about Mariota, and he's already had issues this year so far where he's just not looking good, practicing on the field, whatever it is. And he's going to have some pressure behind him because there's Ryan Tannehill. But that's a side note. We can get on to Delanie Walker because Walker, if he's healthy, he has to be healthy this year. If he's healthy, I think there's a chance that Mariota could target Walker quite a bit because there's just not other wide receiver help. There's not. If you look at the roster, there's just Tajay Sharp. He's not gonna be the guy. There's just Davis. I like him, but he's not. To me, he's not a number one receiver. There's just some young inexperience at wide receivers position for the Titans, and it's just not going to cut it. That's why Delanie Walker, being the veteran that he is, could come into this scenario and become a big weapon for Mariota and possibly Tannehill if he does get the job. At some point, he might. I like Adam Humphries too, but I just don't like him with Mariota. I'm sorry, that's just kind of how I feel. I might like Humphries, though, with Tannehill. If Tannehill does take the field, I think it makes Delanie Walker... Let's put it this way. Do you like him more or do you like him less if Tannehill is in there? Tannehill isn't great with tight ends, but he's never really had a tight end that has been a stellar guy like Delanie Walker can be. We've seen that out of Delanie Walker before. He had Charles Clay, of course, and I think that was pretty decent back then, but it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. So I think Tannehill would be fine with Walker, and I think it would improve all of the other wide receivers as well on that team because I believe that Tannehill's a better quarterback than Marcus Mariota. Mark my words, at some point, I do believe that Tannehill will be taking that job away from Mariota. Walker, I would say, I don't know if there can be that connection between him and Tannehill. I know that's something that has to take some time to develop. If I'm going to touch somebody on this team, other than the running back, can't think of his name. All of a sudden, wow, the biggest player on the team, I can't think of his name. Derrick Henry. Sorry. Derrick Henry, I would obviously have him on my team, but if I'm going to have somebody else from the Titans on my fantasy team, it would probably be Delanie Walker. I'm not really thinking about the other guys. Unless Tannehill is the quarterback, and I know that going forward before I do my draft, yes, I would take some of these guys, and I would actually think that Adam Humphries would be somebody I would look at. But for now, that's not the case. No matter who's the quarterback, I don't mind Delanie Walker this year. that's pretty much really all I have to say. He's not really being drafted high. If he's being drafted, it's low. It's somewhere around, I'm going to say the 10th-ish round. It could be even later than that. I don't know this for a fact, but I know that he is being drafted. He's not just being undrafted. He's a good enough tight end to be drafted no matter who the quarterback is that's throwing to him. That's really all I've got on Delanie Walker. I don't see any other reason to go any further on this. But, hey, listen, guys, Pole Sports. Get it on with Pole Sports because Pole Sports is going to be amazing for the fantasy year. It's already amazing. Go to polesports.com, get your questions answered, and you can answer questions for other people because that is really good. So go there right now, polesports.com, get your questions answered. Other than that, I know John Eddie Jr. is going to be doing another ride episode where he focuses on an individual defensive player. That is really key for all of you who play with defensive players. Get out there right now. Listen to that the moment it comes out. It might already be out before this episode releases because, hey, sometimes we do things at the same time, and that's just how it works. Go ahead, listen to that. Don't forget to listen to the rest of Fantasy Fuel as well. We do a lot of really good episodes. The last few episodes have been rankings, but the last one we just did was actually a mock draft. And let me tell you something about this mock draft. It was the best mock draft I think we've ever done together as a team with me and John Eddie Jr. So listen, guys, check out polesports.com. Don't forget that. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us at fantasyfuelpodcast.com. You can find us on Apple Podcast. You can find us just about anywhere. We're on iHeartRadio. That's a big one for us. We really enjoy what iHeartRadio has done for us. Really big. Getting a lot of listens from them. We thank you so much for listening in whatever way you're listening. If you're watching us on YouTube, please click that subscribe button. And if you're going to do that, you might as well just click that notification bell because that's going to help you get notified every time we do an episode. That way you don't have to go searching around for us. Thanks for listening, guys, and remember to stay fueled up this offseason.